takes a lot to decide to go, and then it's a lot to who do I go to? Like, that's the thing. I wish it was easier for people to know who to go to and how to find a therapist that's going to work for them. It's going to be a good match. Sometimes you just have to try 2 or 3 to even know that.
Yeah.
I mean, it does help to look at their website and read the bio and see if that seems like a good match for you. See what their experience is, see what their trainings are in.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. And a referral. Man,
A referral.
Referral goes a long way. So checking with your church, doctor's office, friends, in any profession, it doesn't matter if you're a mechanic, a doctor, an accountant, there are going to be people who are good, and there are going to be people who are less effective at what they do. So a great way to kind of cut through that is to go to somebody who comes referred.
Yeah, and I mean, there's a lot of different things that require extra training, not just, so I'm master's level therapist. Most of us are master's level therapists. Some are doctorates, some have their PhDs, but we don't learn everything we need to know just through grad school. So like marriage therapy is a specialty. So not just anybody is going to know how to work with marriages. It takes extra training outside of grad school. So one of the best, I'm a little biased, I think, but also research shows that emotionally focused therapy, EFT, is highly efficacious for marriages, doing marriage therapy. So you might want to look for that for the training. Gottman method's another good method. Imago therapy is a good one. So you want someone who's had that extra training in couples counseling.
Yeah, and part of what makes it difficult, couples counseling is more difficult than individual counseling.
Yeah. Because
you don't just have the one-on-one relationship, you really have 3 relationships. You have the one-on-one, and then the dynamic of the 2. And being able to navigate, negotiate that to make progress is not easy. I'll talk to people, they'll say we saw a counselor and they just listened to us fight and kind of with the deer in the headlights kind of thing. So it's a great point. You need that extra training. Another is having a Christian counselor. And I would say a Christian who also believes in psychology is important. The 2 go together. We want to use the best of what research is saying is efficacious, that is also very consistent with biblical principles. And we don't want to give on one and not have the other. We need them both. What, in just your experience and estimation, how long on average would a couple go to counseling to get the help they need? Which I know it's a loaded question because every situation is different.
There is no average.
Yeah.
Some couples, I'll see them 2 months and they've made so much progress. They're like doing all the work in between. They're reading books. They're going to a class on growth or on marriage. They're doing all these extra things and they're really insightful and they're humble. They're willing to see their part and will admit it, and they just grow so fast. Other couples, it might take 2 or 3 years before I really start to see progress. It really depends on the health of the individuals and how much work they're doing outside of counseling. I see the most growth when they're each involved in either a group, like a marriage class or a personal growth group, and doing books outside of session. So they're really doing a lot of growth and growing on their own. But if I have a couple where they both have trauma and a lot of trauma, it's going to take a really long time. Or if there's
betrayal
trauma, yeah. I mean,
affair recovery is gonna take 18 months to 2 years of working on it, not just marking the time, but like we are actively working on it.
Yeah, and longer if it's like multiple affairs.
Yeah.
Because multiple affairs, we're looking at like 5 years, 3 to 5 years probably.
Which you could hear that and be really discouraged by it, but 3 to 5 years or whatever the number is, and you have created a healthy relationship.
Yeah.
Full of trust.
Because it's not just about the betrayal trauma.
Yeah.
I mean, there's all these layers underneath that we have to dig and get to and work on and grow through.
And I would say, when I hear a number like that, whether it's 2 years, 5 years, and you are in a ton of pain right now, it's not necessarily that you're going to be in this level of intense pain all 2 years or 5 years.
Right.
I mean, there's a gradual growth where after so much time, it's like, okay, we got a ways to go, but I'm seeing it now. I'm feeling it now. That intense pain isn't what it was. So there's progress, incremental progress.
And depends on how much work they're doing outside of session. I can't stress that enough.
Very true.
Right, do you have your own individual therapist? Are you doing a group on the area that you need to grow in? Are you reading books? Are you listening to podcasts? All that is going to make it go so much faster.
Yeah, and so you juxtapose that versus what I will oftentimes talk to people, and I'll ask if they're in counseling, and they'll say, we did counseling. So how long did you go? Is a frequent question that I will often ask. And it's like, well, yeah, we went for like 4 to 6 weeks. Didn't help at all.
You're just barely getting started, after that long. It takes a while to get to know the people in front of you. Like, for me to get to know the people in front of me, just knowing all their history and know what their personality is like, knowing the things they went through, understanding their dynamic. It just takes a while to see what's going on.
Yeah. So what about just kind of the fit between the therapist and the people? So let's assume that we have a competent therapist. There isn't necessarily, is it fair to say sometimes it's clicking, it's working, and sometimes it's not? Or would you say not necessarily look at it that way?
Yeah, for sure. Just like people in life, we click with some people and some people we don't click with. So, that's a thing to shop around and see who you click with.
Yeah.
Part of it.
That makes sense.
Yeah, I want to say one more thing on the therapist. Have grace with your therapist. We're just people too. We forget things. We make mistakes. We say things that may be hurtful. Work that out with your therapist.
What would that look like?
Yeah, I actually did have a client who said to me one time, I had made a comment. I don't remember what the comment is, but she came back the next session and said, when you made that comment, it made me feel judged. And I was so appreciative that she addressed that, because a lot of times people just maybe stop coming or something. So I was able to say, oh, I can see how that came across like that. I'm really sorry. I don't want you to feel like I'm judging you. I'm not judging you, so I'm really sorry I said that. But we were able to work it out. That's part of the therapeutic process. If your therapist forgets something that they said they're going to do, remind them. We forget stuff and we make mistakes.
Yeah, and to that end, if you're not getting what you feel that you need, bring that up as well.
Yes.
I need you to be more directive. I need you to give us homework through the week because I need to feel like we're making quicker progress, or at least more intentional progress than we are.
Yeah, I love that. If you're wanting some book recommendations, ask for that. Ask for other resources. So we don't always know. We don't always think about giving it to you. We don't know that you want it, but yeah.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
Or if you're not addressing something that you want to address, come with that. Hey, today I would really like to address this.
Right, yeah. And ultimately, that's going to get you the help you need to get to where you want to go.